I was chatting with a good friend today, a friend with whom I share an integrity. An integrity about a quality of work, a purpose of work, a dedication to work that is not based on money. It's not based on acclaim. She is an independent journalist, one whose voice is so unapologetic and painfully honest that she is a targeted individual who has had to leave the country. She ended up in Florida because where she was working changed so much with the COVID nonsense that the only place she felt that she could do her work was in a place without restrictions, and that brought her here. I was working in pro and collegiate sports and rehab, and COVID evaporated my work altogether. So, thanks to Signal, we were able to chat today. She in another country, in an obscure, remote place. We were talking about, with all the things that are going on, the painful realization of how many people have completely reduced themselves to a money-based value system. Now, I'm in my 60s. She's in her 50s. We've been around the block a few times. We've seen things happen and change over the decades. She did not choose her profession for the money or the fame. And I assure you, I didn't either, because people that work in athletic rehab do not have glamorous, wealthy lives. We often live very hectically, flying around on airplanes, working 12-hour days. You have to love it. You have to really want the work. And she, an independent journalist, hiding, running, rarely acknowledged, often plagiarized, information twisted. But she had a calling and I had a calling. There is a great honor in following a higher call, in choosing to organize your life in such a way that you do with less of the world. Make fewer assumptions about the things you need, the ego attached to your comfort. Why am I talking about this as I drive through a cemetery? Well, this is a cemetery full of pioneers who built this town of St. Augustine. This part of the cemetery, the oldest part, we have Florida Indian War and Civil War time people here. Names that you would recognize if you drove around or walk around the streets, especially Old Town. Those families are here. Those people are here. That's integrity. That's permanence. Those families started as indentured servants. was an opportunity to work, yes, but it was also an opportunity to build something at a time when there was very little to build with. To sign over 10 years of your life and potentially of your children's lives to access more opportunity to create something ahead of yourself, to suffer and struggle in your life so that there can be peace after. I don't remember who it is, but there is a black gentleman known for saying something to the effect of, I am a warrior so that my son can be a poet. The lives we live must be intentional. They must be intentional. And if all one does is run for money, run for fame in this ridiculous time of social media, people who get paid to shake their booty on Instagram, to distract you, to entertain you. Where did the integrity go? Where is the voice of ancestors like these whose lives and contributions are still honored and appreciated? I work in this cemetery a great deal, cleaning these stones. These people didn't have social media. They didn't have Patreon. They had to work. They had to gather together in communities and create what they needed. They had to plan and sacrifice. Where is the planning and sacrifice now? Oh, there are still people that do it. She got where she got because she knew how to do that. She knew how to put down her head and focus. I got where I got in the world that I worked in the collegiate and elite and pro athletic world, because I put my head down and I did it. I suppose it helps that I started this journey before there even was social media. In fact, cell phones or flip phones. There's an awful lot of distraction right now. And we are conditioned to gravitate toward the distraction. But that's not doing any good. Now more than ever, it is so important to connect with what is real. And sometimes what is real is not what you see with your eyes. It's what you feel in your heart. Not your appetite, not your ego, not your desire, not a taste in your mouth, but what you are called to do. I have a YouTube channel. It's not monetized. I don't have a Patreon account. I am not trying to make money off of you. I do not choose what I put on my channel so that it will get clicks, because I'm not trying to make money off of you. I am sharing something that feels natural to me to share. My quirky historical information, cleaning headstones, interest in legacies, and now being a mobile dweller. My friend writes what she writes based on what is in her heart to write, what she feels is important. And she does so in a way to lift people's awareness, raise people's awareness. I do the same thing. I would like to see every abandoned black cemetery, for instance, in the United States, cleaned up. All of those stones, all of those names visible again and brought back to life. I would like to see all of these pioneer families' stones cleaned, and for you to know their stories instead of the distracting nonsense that you hear on the paid tours in St. Augustine. And I do that for free. So, what am I doing today? Well, I wanted to get those thoughts out. And I wanted to drive through the cemetery here, see some of the stones that I've cleaned. I use a product that works with the silicate in the stone so that they keep cleaning themselves when it rains. And it's rained a lot, so some of the stones I've cleaned are whiter simply by the rain. It's a time of distraction. It's a time of fear. It's a time of desperation. Commit to something. When you feel exhausted and overstimulated, choose something to literally ground yourself to. I come to cemeteries and clean the stones. You have things that ground you. You may be one of those people who feels like we do, that there's too much emphasis on time for money, that integrity is gone, that craftsmanship is gone, that the honor of working for a higher purpose than just Friday's paycheck still means something to you. Thank you, if that is the case. I applaud you, most certainly. Some of us who have been on the outskirts of things, well, that's the way it always is. The people who have genuine personal connection with meaning, essence, whatever you want to call God, those people are usually looked at as fools. I accept the title. Why would you want to give up your apartment and move into your car? Because it makes me smarter, for instance. It forces me to think more about what I'm doing. Even if all these stones were gone tomorrow, the essence of these people would still be in the hearts of those that laid them to rest and to those that visit them. It has nothing to do with religion. Commit to something greater than yourself. Ground yourself to that commitment. And don't be afraid to seem like a fool.